Hello, welcome to the After Show for episode 6 of Game of Thrones Riverlands.
Hi.
Hello.
So, I titled this one the Ithleen episode.
Woo! There was a lot. There was a lot. I'm like trying to remember all the things. I was like, there's things I want to talk about in the after show. I'm trying to remember what they were exactly.
So, there's something I wanted to talk about, which was, since the after show people know, and we know Mathis did the poisoning, I asked Mathis 3 times, are you sure that poison? And he said
sure.
yes. And I was like, dude, this could kill Ithleen.
That poison was specifically chosen on the off chance that the stabbing failed and he lived. I needed him to attack the others to force him to be put down.
Yeah. You had to cover your bases.
I can't let him get a shank and then he was like gasping, but he lives. It's like, well, then that's fucked. And so I needed to find the best poison that would either kill him immediately or put him in a position that would get him killed.
Why didn't you just use the basilisk's venom?
Because it's not as virulent, not as toxic.
Correct.
But each degree of success is an instant wound.
He got wounds from this one too, but it's easier. It's better.
You don't
in
get
my
wounds from this
mind.
one, you just take cunning loss.
It's in my mind, it's better for him to die from bladed piercing than poison killing him off. It's easier to tell that someone's suffocated than it is to see he has 9 stab wounds. Look how hard it was for them to figure out that somebody even got stabbed with the stiletto, and it was literally by luck that Declan shoved his finger in there that he even discovered there was any poison.
He rolled a 13 and it was a 12 to tell the poison.
Exactly.
And he shoved his finger in there. Otherwise he wouldn't have been able to tell.
Yep. So it was just again, there's no such thing as a clean plan in my mind. You book for the contingencies and risks have to be taken, and Ithleen was the risk in this one, unfortunately. But I sent them with John, not because I had no idea John was what he was, but having an additional person there to maybe swing things in her favor, also be an additional witness, was the ways I could at least pad things in Ithleen's favor, at least to get away.
Yeah. Like when I said very cryptically, like, you have thrown a pebble at the avalanche and it has changed direction. That was John.
I'm happy. Good.
Well, here's the thing. So
Yeah.
Faceless don't just show up. They don't hang out. They're usually sent on a mission. So the real question is, why the f*** is he here? Long before there was, plotting and killing of siblings, like, he was already here. And, like, for Dot, not for Luvina, but for Dot, I'm like, why?
Well, what did he do the next 6 months?
Well, we'll have to figure that out. But the thing is he's been here. How long has John been with the family?
Probably for like
13 years?
Which means something happened. So he's been there 13 years. Either
Less than that. He's been stable master for at least somewhere
Since I
between
was a
2 and 5. I
child.
can't remember what it was. I'll have to go check my notes. He's been stable master a while. Before that, he was a stable hand for many years. Probably roughly the entire duration Declan's been there.
sure,
Yeah,
but
I trained him, right? He went
Yeah, but
through.
what are
But
the
yeah, so
chances?
he's been there 7 years because you trained him when
Yeah.
he joined as a stable
but
hand. He's been there
what
7
are the
years. He's
chances
been
it's
stable
the
master
same
too.
John.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
If he's a
probably not the
faceless
same.
man, John's probably dead at some point in those years and was just replaced.
exactly,
Yeah.
it was replaced. And it's the whoever the real person is that has taken John's face, it's who fell in love.
And
With
no,
Oscar.
absolutely. My guess is that this is a complete stab in the dark, working on very little
Yeah,
information.
stab in the dark.
He was there to deal with the heir for one reason or another.
Yeah.
I don't think a faceless man would let himself fall in love like that.
No, I think he had to get close to Hoster.
I agree.
And the actually falling in love and for real was not planned.
It was
at
part of
all.
the mission.
We will see.
I think killing Hoster was the original mission. The real question is, like, he got close using the face of the stable hand. I mean, I don't know. These are all theories, but like the real
What if
question is, who would have sent somebody early on to kill Hoster?
I don't necessarily think that his target was Hoster. I think that it doesn't really take much, right? Like, we all gleaned the information that Hoster was easily manipulatable, and he changes his face every time he's around a different person.
Yep.
So what better way to manipulate Hoster than have him be in love with you?
So you don't think he was there to kill Hoster? You think he was there to kill someone else?
Yeah, I think he was using Hoster because of his position and because he was an easy
Yeah.
target.
That's Yeah.
The real
I don't-
question is who then? Because he hasn't finished his mission.
Oh, well, it has to be the Lord.
Why do you say it has to be?
Well, nobody else knows. I mean, outside of the immediate family, unless Hoster spoke about Lady Jenny.
If knowledge leaked about the mothers to other people, could be they're trying to put her down.
Yeah, it could be
That's
that.
what I say her. There are other possible things.
There's many other ways to deal with someone that may have position that is not as influential, right? Like if it was Maester Gallard, then he fell. You know, he's already like 130, so
Yeah.
easy enough. But an influential person,
We don't have enough
Yeah.
info.
exactly.
And can we just talk about the fact Declan also was like, "Do you want me to kill Lavina?"
Yeah, well, loyalty to the house,
Like,
Yeah.
to the family.
damn.
You ain't part of this family yet.
Plus, I'm gonna be.
When
So we
you
best
are,
get
then
into that. And more importantly, like it was so interesting for them just him to be like, "Here, let me show you." After Declan brought her headstone, just was like,
Yeah.
"Truth, I want it now." And when Lavina was like flat out staring at him, being like, "Look, I'm being real. I snuck in there and I found out the truth." He's all sassy pants about it.
There's a few reasons for that. Firstly, you were quite sassy to him back, but mostly it's due to the fact that
Lavina is
Declan.
always sassy. That is not a state of being. That just is her existence.
I know, and that's a problem for some people, Northerners especially. But no, Declan A has been there for 9 years. He saved pretty much everyone's life. B, him and the Lord have a relationship that very much is like, we've been together for a while. I trust you.
No, I understand why he took him. I'm just saying, it is like, I don't know what Luvina has to do other than sacrifice her life for the family. Like, she's been here, she's been doing things not as long,
That's it.
but she's
Like
made
that.
it very clear that she is dedicated to this fucking family. She rode naked through the night with Declan.
I know, and he enjoyed that.
Well,
He
I'm
did.
glad you did, but she did it because it was no question. When she knew there was something wrong, she was there. She's always been there.
Yeah.
I could just see her getting
Never
off of her horse with just this wide, broad stance and walking like an old school cowboy.
But give it another 7 years and you'll be in the same position as Declan. The problem is you've only been there 2 years.
I guess it's true. I'm just saying.
It
I think
takes a
he's
while
just
for an outsider to
sexist
like
asshole.
push in. Like Declan wasn't Master of Arms for a while,
Yeah, like 4 or 5 years.
and he straight up showed up and saved everyone's life as his first move, as opposed to showing up and being part of a trade deal. Right? He had the much more
Plus-
power move in. And part of
Nobody.
it,
I just feel like nobody trusts Lubina. Nobody. Declan
like-
doesn't trust her.
It's just by reputation, right? Like a wildling is, well, they don't really have many motivations except to survive. But from my understanding of the Sands, well, they are kind of snaky.
Yeah.
They have a reputation
they
that
literally
sticks
have a
with them.
snake pit.
Mm.
Yeah.
We legitimately have a snake. pit.
Plus, everybody knows up to this point that Declan can't lie. He's as subtle as a brick in the middle of your back. So
Declan was the nudge that sent Caliph in the direction that he went. Declan opened his mouth because he can't keep a lie, which is good. The honesty. And I was
Right.
like,
Right.
all right.
Yeah, there's a quote in like season 8 which is good, which is like when they're talking about spoilery things. Varys says to Tyrion, "Well, how many people know?" And Tyrion's like, "Oh, well, like 8, just a handful of people." It's like 8's not a handful. 8 is everyone knows. It just takes time.
Everybody knows now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the things that Declan has, which is the reason it had to go the way it had, is because Declan has a trait, which is the Wildling, Blood the Wildling, which means that no one can make a status roll to compel him. And of course, like, I'm not
That's
necessarily going to roll a status roll to compel you as a PC, unless it's specifically, I'm going to compel you and you can choose to break it.
Mm-hmm.
As a Wildling, he just doesn't suffer negative for breaking it, so there's no point in ever rolling status against him. So it's more akin to, they will just accept that, like, you can't deal with him in the same way, or he just doesn't have that position.
plus, I'm hella bullheaded, right? Like I have a ton of points into will, so convincing me to do things or just shaking me it's difficult to say the least.
And the last one is the relationship you had with his wife, which was like, she liked you. And the reason he didn't tell you was totally not regarding like anything about does it trust you or anything. It was just, you can't lie.
Yeah.
Mm.
Otherwise, you would have probably had a key.
Well, I mean, he led with that. He's like, I didn't tell you because you can't lie. If he had led with literally anything else, it probably would have gone in a very different direction.
And, Lord Tom is designed to be a relatively honest person. He's not quite a Ned, but he's designed to be that sort of relatively honest. He relies on the counsel of you guys to kind of decide where he goes, because otherwise it won't be fun for you to decide where the house goes. Now you're down to one heir who's 5 years old. So I'm assuming we're going to have a lot of Declan and Jason time.
Yep.
Maybe. I do expect to see a much larger amount of Caliph, though.
We'll see.
Caliph he's seen Tama now a few times, right? And each time it's been growing in support, and that can't go unnoticed, even by the Lord. As much as he's supposed to have X amount of respect for his son, even though a bastard, he's bound to see that you're capable of at least making difficult decisions.
The one thing that I've made clear is that Caliph, no matter how his father treats him, always respects his decisions and respects the house. Always. Everything he's ever done has always been in favor of the house, at least openly to his father and to his friends and family. And even behind the scenes, that's very much true to the core of the character. But there comes the penalty of being the bastard. So, and that you have to work hard to overcome that, and that's fine. Caliph is designed to be a background character. That's literally when I sat down to design this character, I went in with being a fourth seater, more or less, the quiet one in the back who doesn't do much. I'll have a few moments every couple of sessions, maybe 30 minutes, 45, where I'll do something and I'll put things into motion. But most of the time, unless you come to me, Caliph just sits back.
That's about to happen.
Not next week it won't. The week after it will. Yeah, but that's how he is. He's not. Making waves is dangerous.
You're the only person up to this point that Declan knows has any experiences with poisons, even if he doesn't immediately suspect you, which honestly, he's not sure, but it's leaning to no, he doesn't. But knowing that you have some familiarity with poisons, he's going to ask you about Basilisk's blood, which is going to be a weird situation, I would say. Even though you're probably going to, you're going to be able to lie very easily. He's not quite gullible, but he doesn't think that you would kill your own brother.
Fair.
Hopes.
Fair.
So it's
I can't say much. I just watched.
I was about to say, I
hope chat enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was an episode entirely orchestrated by you.
As long as chat enjoyed the drama.
I feel like they did.
You got 10,000 bits, which is great.
Yep.
Declan totally knows that it was John. He may not be able to prove it.
Oh, yeah, it's so easy.
But without a shadow of a doubt, it's John, because Ithleen is clumsy.
Mm-hmm.
These
are poignantly placed.
It that definitely adds a lot of complications for Ithleen too, like that particular poison also, because I had to attack my own brother. And
no, the way Ithleen acted throughout that whole, watching that scenario play out, Ian and I had a conversation over the course of a couple of days. I laid out best case scenario, and this was best case scenario. This was not only did Ithleen not check to see if Hoster was alive, she didn't turn back. She's like, let's go talk to the house. They're just there. We'll throw the bodies over the horse. And I'm like, this is fucking perfect.
You're just doing everything that I wanted.
And she's like, this will be great to unify the houses. I'm like, this is perfect. Holy shit. It's working out so well.
Yeah, you've got your primary objective, you've got your tertiary objective, and you've got the objectives of opportunity as well.
Everything you wanted just happened, and Ithleen, I went along with it without even knowing.
Mission success, A+.
Oh God, yeah. I have to think about a lot of what to do with this character moving forward, because now I have the opportunity to be more sneak, and I have to figure out how I want to do that, because I also, I care about Declan, I care about Lavina. They've shown me a lot of love and compassion. So I need to decide what I'm willing to tell them and what I'm willing to keep secret from them. So this
is also your episode 3, right?
Yes.
If you want to rejig anything on your character, you have to do it before next time, because the next time will be locked in, but this is your last chance to rejig any of the points.
Oh, okay. I should look at that too, because that's for me as well.
And me.
Yeah, this will be my third one, so I should just look at it again. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not think I was going to be a very deceiving character, but now I may need to more
So I say you
warned
have
you
to
ahead
be
of time.
now.
It's like,
I
if
was
you're
not
going to
gonna be
roll
an
deceive
Ava
against some
again.
people, be sure you want to roll deceive against some people.
I know. Oh God. Okay. Oh. Yeah.
But you got what you wanted.
I did. I was like, oh, cool. You know, having Lavina as a trainer is going to be great. I'm going to learn the ways of Dornish fighting, and it's going to be cool. But now I have an even like bigger thing dangling over my head. Like, you could be trained like a Bravosi fighter, assassin.
Yeah, I will say this though. I'm watching this plot happen. You're like, oh, now I could be go train. When you slit your hand, you pretty much promised that you were going to go train, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah. Basically.
And you're also in the middle of trying to promise yourself to House Reimer. You can't just up and disappear.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually very true. So
You backed yourself into this corner because you've promised yourself to them, which means your life is now dedicated to them.
Yeah.
But you also have a duty to your house, which is going to come up, I feel like, now that you're planting kisses on the face of the son of Reimer.
Yeah, actually, that's
You done 2 big old holes this episode.
Great. She's got 1 foot in one, 1 foot in the other.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I can't wait for her. Yeah.
Strictly speaking as well, if you want access to stuff like fencing and so on, you normally need a trainer. You have access to fencing because of your trainer.
Oh, nice.
I think Leovina would be able to train you in fencing as well, right? You've got fencing?
Look, I would be able to train her.
How many fencing you got?
Fencing
1 or 2?
is what I have. Huh?
Have you got 1 or 2?
Oh, let's see.
Write this down.
Fighting, fencing, I've got 2.
2. Yeah, so Leovina could train you.
Technically in fighting, I've got 3.
But fencing is 2.
Right. If I've taken fencing and brawling, it has to be 2. So correct.
Yeah. So Leovina could train you to fencing 2, but John can train you far beyond that. So you have access to all the training you could ever desire.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just also thinking, like, if Lean 2 wants to know what happened to her brother being poisoned, so she's gonna look into that.
Honestly, I expect it to come out that, yeah, he was poisoned. It got weird. And then if Lean's going to be like, I will help you because I really want to know who did it.
Right. Obviously,
if Lean is mad that her brother was poisoned.
Yeah, Declan's already on the case, but
on the case.
that's why I'm saying, like, I'm thinking I'm going to have to I'll be honest with him about it. Well, not everything, but obviously the poison part. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Freaking even John was giving me like those cryptic like things about lies and truth, and I'm like, oh no, I don't know what to think of this. Oh, I hate like cryptic little riddles.
Then why did you want to be a faceless man?
Right? Your entire life is a cryptic riddle.
I love, in the words of my favorite character in Game of Thrones, Sansa Stark, I am a slow learner, but I learn. So, right before she killed Littlefinger, my favorite line. So I am a slow learner, but I learn. That's could be said for Ithleen as well.
My favorite part of this episode was when you were speaking with the faceless man, and he asked, "Who else knows about us together?" And I was like, "The girl talks too much."
Yeah. She talks way too much.
Honestly, when she did that, I was like, oh, thank God. Like, I'm like, there's like, let him know there was a reason he needed to die, and now his mind is not going to be like on necessarily vengeance and more like worrying about who else knows and maybe
who else knows. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, shit, I'm not gonna throw them under the bus. Like, I'm gonna try to lie about this. Don't know if it'll work.
I don't think that's gonna be the end of it. If he was legitimately in any form of love at all, that would be the last person that I'd want to be hunting me down as a faceless man.
There's not much I can do against a faceless man. Stab me in my sleep. I don't go anywhere.
Oh, hello. Yeah, this just be easy. Okay, I'll lay down.
I'm weak. I'm frail. I'm craven. Let me sleep. And I'll
I don't know. Against a faceless man, if you're wearing like your full battle armor and you got your battle weapons, like you'd probably wreck face.
Declan, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh no, Caliph couldn't do anything against anyone.
Oh God, not at all.
My body isn't ready, said Caliph before death.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much true.
I got nothing else.
Yeah, I've like really. I'm sorry that I'm just not saying. I need to think about a lot. Like I have a lot on my
Same.
mind
It's
right
okay.
now.
We can talk. Discord me.
I will be messaging you a lot of trying to figure out, my thoughts.
I've already messaged him twice during this one recording, so it's fine. It's fine.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Thank you. Also, thank you, Mathis, for redirecting that.
Well, I don't know. It worked out.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going to happen otherwise, but I feel like it would have been worse.
End of the season, I'll tell you what I thought the other Avalanche was going to be.
I feel
You've
like I just watched a
changed.
Tarantino / Guy Ritchie experience. That's what I feel like I just watched. It's sort of knowing that he plotted this. It's like I rewatched it in my head backwards, and then it slowly played out in front of me, and I was like,
Yep. The whole time I was like, God. Ah! Ah!
2 episodes of not talking, but I was there the whole time.
So, Mathis GMs, even when he's a player, he wrote the story. Okay.
I step away. I put things in I don't know. I don't very often when I'm PC, I don't very often get to play the plotting type very much. Because most of the time I'm playing like Faerun or I'm playing in like Eberron, where it's much more high fantasy. So when you get an opportunity to play that backseat character instead of playing like the charismatic, I sleep with everybody who comes by my window side and play.
Wow, Shade Lavina.
No, yeah, one of the longest running characters I've ever played is like over 5 years. James, played him from 1 to 17. He started as like a deck swab and ended up as a captain. But like you play that whole face and you just bang everybody. But in this world, I can sit back and I can be present without being there, and that's really fun to play with. And it also is kind of up my style. I like a lot. I don't know what else to say. I said everything last after show. We just watched it happen.
Yep.
As long as the players aren't mad at me, that's all I care.
I feel like I should be asking.
I feel like I should be high-fiving you.
I feel like I should be asking, like, what happens next episode, Mathis?
I'm not here. I don't know. I have no other big plots moving right now. Like that was session 1. The gears started to turn, and then I disappeared for a little bit. I kind of kept myself out of the loop on purpose. I came back, and then you guys presented the information as your characters, and I just took that and ran with that. And that's when the full plan started to push. Now, it's a mistake to, in Callith's mind rather, it's a mistake to do one big plan and then immediately jump onto the next. You're risking too much. Let it all settle, see where things go, and then if I need to do something, I do something. Otherwise, Callith is super happy running by Declan's side and just being the diplomatic or the words that you might need in certain situations that you won't have as a free folk.
So what I anticipate is the next session, everything will be okay-ish. The session after, Kalis comes back and analyzes the information they've gathered, comes to conclusion.
I will purposely not watch the episode because I don't want to know. I haven't watched any of them. I don't watch the episodes because I want Callith to have the knowledge that I have.
Yo, and I've got a mad metagaming part of my body that just wants me to utilize knowledge. So when my character's not in a scene, I do everything I can to tune out because I struggle with metagaming hard. And I know it's a weak point.
Yeah, I just don't take notes. I don't worry about metagaming, but I just don't want to have knowledge at my disposal that I wouldn't have. Because in a week, I'll forget all the details. I'll remember the general gist of what happened, but little details I won't remember. Now we've played. Now if you like the next step in Callith's thought process isn't a plan. The next concern is, all right, now we have to play the Regent game. And we can raise little Jason from a baby to a leader. And we can groom him to be a good heir. Obviously, that's assuming everything is peaceful as the events of the series and books kick off. But that's his next step. Is all right. Now we have to figure out who is going to preside over the son as reigning regent if my dad kicks it before he's of age.
We have a 6-month time skip.
Mm-hmm.
Should we have planned for next session? If we're going to be here next session, should we have planned anything that we wanted to accomplish?
If you want to do anything major within the 6 months, sure.
Okay.
Okay. Because I'm trying to decide, like, Ithlene is going to be mourning and probably won't really be talking much to everybody. But I don't think it's going to be 6 months that she's, like, so during that time, I would probably, have a discussion with Lavina and probably Declan about what happened. So we can play that out in the next episode, but I don't think it would be, after the 6-month time skip. So
How long before the general unrest will settle? Because I imagine that Tommen will be a little distraught.
Probably 2 to 4 weeks before everything's vaguely back to normalish in the castle, but it's going to take Tommen, somewhere in the region of 2 to 6 months. Varies. Depends how you interact, but basically it's going to be 6 months until everything is completely back vaguely as normal.
Okay.
May need to be a private
Because he
question.
lost his eldest son by a good 16 years.
Yeah, his first child.
Yeah. Oh.
Yep, that's all I got for now.
Lots of secret messages.
Join next week.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be
Who's here? I was about to say, who's here?
Probably going to be Maggie.
Ooh.
Well, that's going to be dangerous.
Yeah. John Arryn's just died. The king's just gone north. He comes back south. And who rides with him and Ned Stark? Andrea. She's going to pop off and visit on the way.
Well, good thing I've been keeping Lavina dry for a few months. I'll be ready.
Does she have some kind of allegiance with the house? I may have just spaced. I forgot if the Stadewells do, or
Oh, the Stadewells, they're of the north, so their ultimate allegiance is ultimately to the king, but Ned Stark is the one of the north.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
She'll be visiting around this part, so she'll be coming south with the procession.
Well, good job today, guys. It was fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was all fun to watch.
good episode.
Right, thank you for watching the after show.
Bye.
Who will Mathis kill next?
Bye.
Not
Nope.
it. Nose goes.